Welcome to today's Rink Report. It's being brought to you by Ohio Credit Union. We're expanding it today. Bob McElligott along with Jody Shelley per normal. But we've also brought in Jean-Luc Grandpierre and Jeff Rimmer as the Blue Jackets are getting set to open their best-of-7 series with the Tampa Bay Lightning here today. Let's break this series down. Let's go by position. And, Jeff, I'm going to start with you because we're going to start in net and work our way out. In the Toronto series, Frederik Andersen turned out to be somewhat of a liability for the Maple Leafs. The Blue Jackets were able to beat him 3 times and move on here. Andrei Vasilevskiy I think he's going to be a tougher guy to beat for the Blue Jackets without question. But the Blue Jackets on the other side have a pretty confident Jonas Korpisalo going into this series, don't they?
Oh, no question. Where do we start? Let's talk about Corpy because he was simply outstanding. 2 shutouts. Only the second time in 82 years that a goaltender in a 5-game series records 2 shutouts. And no, before Jody Shelley says anything, I was not there several years ago, a long time ago. In fact, I was not born the last time a goaltender won with 2 shutouts in a 5-game series. So now that I've removed that, Corpy was outstanding. I'm going to tell you right now, the goaltending, I think, is going to be even because Vasilevskiy is a big game goaltender. Now, the knock on him is he'll give up some soft goals. And in the round robin, incidentally, he gave up a couple of bad goals, and there was some criticism of Vasilevskiy. Now, if you think back to last year's playoff series with Tampa, the Blue Jackets create a lot of traffic in front of Vasilevskiy throughout the series, and he had some difficulties. The Jackets will try to do that again. The new grit on that Tampa team, they feel they can overcome that, and what they want to do, conversely, is create a lot of traffic in front of Korpisalo.
That was very well done, Jeff. And I was a little bit disappointed when you started talking about the last time that a guy got that. I thought you were going to show us still photos from way back there, black and white photos from the last time that happened.
Well, sorry, I wasn't around.
I'm just kidding you. Jean-Luc, let's go to the blue line. And this is, I think on both sides here, it's going to depend upon who is healthy. Victor Hedman got hurt in the round robin, and that is a big blow to Tampa. We saw what happened last year when Victor Hedman got hurt in the series. The Blue Jackets took full advantage of that. Now, on the other side, Zach Werenski and Ryan Murray did play in Game 5, but is Werenski touch and go, or is he good to go the rest of the way? And Murray, of course, that's almost a day-to-day thing. So how do these 2 blue lines shape up in your opinion?
Well, I think for the Blue Jackets, Seth has looked good. I'm not too worried about Werenski. He looked actually really good yesterday in the game. In Game 5, he looked great, and he was physical as well, which is not something we typically see from Zach Werenski early. I think he had three hits in the first periods alone. He was hard on the guys, so I'm not too worried about him. Hopefully, it was just like a pinched nerve, and everything is gone now. Ryan Murray, yes, it is game-to-game basis. The only worry I would have with Murray is that there's not going to be any back-to-back, but it's going to be a game every second day, so that could put some strain on his body. Now for the Tampa Bay Lightning, big loss. Victor Hedman, he's a Norris Trophy candidate pretty much every year. He's their cornerstone on the back end. He's missing. Jan Ruta, who's been his partner, is missing as well, being unfit to play. So look out for Mikhail Sergachev that they traded from Montreal for Drouin. So this is a guy that can play. They'll probably be running their power play as well. And then they'll have to lean on Braden Coburn, who's back from injury as well, and Zach Bogosian that they got from Buffalo. So they're going to have to dig into their depth, that's for sure, but the Jackets need to take advantage of it.
And there's no question, Jean-Luc, moving the puck out of your own defensive zone is going to be key for both teams in this series.
Yeah, it'll be key. They have Shattenkirk that can move the puck really well. And really interesting, you look at their lineup, they have 2 defensemen that literally got bought out, and they're out there to prove themselves again. Shattenkirk was in New York, bought out. Bogosian out of Buffalo. So these guys want to prove their worth. They came to Tampa for a chance to win the cup, and that's what they'll try to do. But yeah, like you said, puck moving is going to be very important. And I think the loss of Hedman is going to be big for them. I don't know how long he'll be out. I don't want to stipulate on that, but I'm telling you right now, the Blue Jackets are definitely going to take advantage of it if they can.
And Jody, the reason it's so important to get that puck out of your zone is to put it on the stick of the forwards, especially if those forwards play for the Tampa Bay Lightning, because these guys are dynamic. They get up ice very quickly, and they are going to create scoring chances. The question is how many scoring chances, because all you have to do is go back to last spring, and the Blue Jackets were great at stifling those chances, but I would imagine the Lightning learned something from that series.
Well, they learned something from that series, and if they watched the Blue Jackets in Game 5 against the Maple Leafs, they had flashbacks and bad memories and bad feelings of not being able to get out of their zone, not being able to play with speed, having to stop. This is a team much like Toronto who wants to play with flow. Their defensemen want to flow behind the net and keep that play going up the ice, where the Blue Jackets want to stop them, make them start from a standstill, break up the cross-ice passes. That the offensive players of the Tampa Bay Lightning were stubborn to a point where they would not stop making the cross-ice passes, and the Blue Jackets stay with their system. So, yeah, we know what happened last year. We know how bruised the egos were of the Tampa Bay Lightning, and they're dreaming of redemption. Now, I'm not sure they're going to adjust. They're going to have to adjust. But one thing is, the Blue Jackets, with their depth, they have a balanced lineup. They've got a young player in Foudy who's emerging. They've got veterans like Jenner, Nyquist, and Foligno, who are a shutdown line, but they also carry the weight and the conscience of the team. I saw Cam Atkinson in Game 5 do things in the defensive zone that Cam Atkinson is bought in, and that's a good thing because he's a guy, he's an offensive-minded player. We think of points when we think of him, and when you have the veterans like Cam and the players who want to score deep in the corners, managing the puck, securing the puck, that shows the Blue Jackets that they're bought in. So the Blue Jackets have balance up front. We know what they have. They've got to get their power play going. We'll probably talk about that another time. But, hey, the Tampa Bay Lightning are without their leader, Steven Stamkos. He is not with the team. He's a guy that's unfit to play. He was lost in Phase 3. So who knows where he is, but he's not in this series to start. So the Blue Jackets understand that that's a big loss. But their key for me in Tampa is Braden Point, my favorite player, one of my top players in the National Hockey League. He's not the biggest guy. He plays with heart, skill, and speed, and he's a player that will really focus on second and third efforts for the Lightning, something you don't really think about with the Lightning when you think of them from afar. But they've picked up a little attitude, too, with Patrick Maroon, who won the Stanley Cup last year with the St. Louis Blues. He's on their fourth line. He brings a little bit of grit, a little bit of savvy, a little bit of size. Another guy is Blake Coleman, a guy that's a speedy guy. The Blue Jackets familiar. He was in the Metropolitan Division with the New Jersey Devils. Coleman's down there in Tampa looking for a Stanley Cup. They've got some players that are really balancing out, but they also have their Paquette, who's a player that is a guy that seems like a full-time guy. He's always around. Cirelli's a player with speed. The Blue Jackets are familiar with him last year. He put up some points. And Palat, one of the most complete players with Johnson. It's been in the system for a while. They were in the minors together. And they've got a pretty good group that when you look at them, they're not all flash. Their flash comes with Kucherov, one of the best players in the National Hockey League when it comes to skill. He will be the guy the Blue Jackets will try to frustrate again. Much like last season when Josh Anderson was in the lineup, giving them a few nudges. Pierre-Luc Dubois is good at that, as is Werenski, as Jean-Luc pointed out last game against the Maple Leafs, getting under the skin of the top players. The focus, or the head of the snake, as one of my coaches used to say, is Kucherov. And the Blue Jackets understand if they can get him off his game, that's a positive in their corner.
Do you guys agree with me? I think Jody hit every single forward on that team.
Yeah,
pretty much every single one of them.
I missed a couple. Let's see. Who am I missing? Barclay Goodrow's a player that was with the San Jose Sharks. Is that Chandler Stevenson they have there up front from the Washington Capitals? There's that's it. Yanni Gord. How could I forget Yanni Gord?
Yeah, he's making more money than those other two guys together.
He's like a water bug out there on the ice. So Yanni Gord's another one of those players. Thanks, Bob, for giving me a second to think there. I checked my notes.
Jody, you forgot Matthew Darch, assistant GM. You want to cover
right.
it?
Yeah, I don't want. If he gets on the ice, the Blue Jackets are in good shape.
Who's got the edge in coaching? Is it Cooper or is it the Blue Jackets? And boy, did he ever coach well here in this series against Toronto. And of course, we're speaking of John Tortorella.
Who you asking? Just everybody?
He's asking you, Bob.
Well, I'll tell you what I think of that. Last year, John Tortorella ran John Cooper's show. There's no doubt about it. He didn't know how to make adjustments. He couldn't get his team to respond. And I'm sure that has been burning within him ever since his team got eliminated last year. and I'm sure he's going to want revenge for that. He's got the talent to try to get the revenge, but I still think John Tortorella can outcoach him. At this time of the year, and Jody, you played for him, so you know better than me, but it becomes a motivational type of a thing. The X's and O's are almost secondary to being ready to go and getting your team to skate through a wall for you. That's what John Tortorella is best at, isn't he?
John Cooper already is having nightmares. He was asked in the press conference the night before the game, what does he think in terms of the Blue Jackets and their blue-collar team? He said, they're not blue-collar. They've got several blue-chip players, and he started off with the tandem of Werenski and Seth Jones.
So the coaching position for me is one that you understand your group. The Blue Jackets know what they are. We talk about that all the time. That's one of their advantages. But a coach that understands what he's got and how to press the buttons and how to put them in the corner of the underdogs and put them right against the Lightning, that's where John Tortorella excels, and I think he's got an advantage there.
John Luke, give me a Blue Jackets player. Can you key it on one guy or one line, however you want to do it here, that they have to have success for the Blue Jackets to have success?
Well, so obviously that first line of Dubois and Texier and whoever's on their right side, with John Tortorella, it changed all the time, but I really like the way Boone Jenner has been playing. And he doesn't look any faster, but he seems like he gets to the corners and to the front of the net much faster than he did before. And I think he's going to be a key contributor to the Blue Jackets, and they need him to, especially in that series. It's going to be a hard-nosed series. Him and Foligno together, they're a great tandem. They bring that edge, that sandpaper grit that, the defensemen hate, and I think it's a big key of playing against the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Jeff, the Blue Jackets aren't getting the primetime games in the first couple here. They're getting the late afternoon games at 3 o'clock. I guess a little tiny bit of adjustment, but maybe within the bubble they're happy to get on the ice and play and then have a little bit of time. What do you think?
I think they'll enjoy those afternoon games. I've asked Jody Shelley several times. He'd love to play afternoon games. Hey, the big thing, it's a quick turnaround because they played a late game on Sunday and they're playing the first game of the playoffs on Tuesday. But they'll be ready, I can assure you.
All right, guys, thank you very much. Good breakdown. And now we look forward to another good matchup between the Blue Jackets and the Tampa Bay Lightning. New year, same matchup here in round one of the Stanley Cup playoffs. For Jody Shelley, Jean-Luc Grandpierre, and Jeff Rimmer, I'm Bob McElligott. This has been the Rink Report. It's been brought to you by Ohio Credit Union. Enjoy the game.